Da-da.
Ta-da!
Whoa.
Woo!
Like that, Caddy. Very cool.
Very cool. Well, we're in the mood for summer, obviously. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are getting ready, aren't we? For the sun.
We have to be.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
We're doing so many things at the moment, aren't we? We're sort of well, we're writing, we're singing, I'm actually writing a show at the moment with my lovely David Williams. And it's going to be a combination of Wonderbirds and my jazz singing. And Nat and Debbie have been amazingly helpful with that.
Well, Natalie much more so than me, because Natalie has had the time to go over things with you, whereas I, for some reason, when you two were at my house, decided to leave you. I can't remember what happened.
I just admire you so much for being brave enough to get up and do it. You know, I would love to have the guts to do it, and I don't, but I do like a bit of a costume, Dee, and a little bit of a mixture of songs. Oh, yeah. It's so much fun working out some lovely ideas.
Thank you. The thing is, I started singing when I was probably about 3, with my grandparents sort of, pushing me forward. And, there's terrible parties around the piano. When I didn't want to do it, and they would sort of, get me out of bed almost to sing. And then put me up for competitions, which I used to win. And then one year I actually came second, and I was horrified. Second? How dare they, But it was like,
I always used to get up, and wherever I was, I would get up and sing. And it was like, many weddings were going on when I was about 3 or 4, which my poor grandparents took me to. And it was like, I was up there with the band, sugar in the morning, sugar in the music. And I can remember certain times when people would say, can you just not let her sing, please?
Oh,
I know. It's too much.
Natalie. With you, Debbie, doesn't it? It sticks with you for the whole of your life when they say, no, this. I got that when I was told by my 2 brothers, oh, you can't sing. And I was probably about 5. And I think that's the root of why I find it difficult to sing now. Because they both told me that I mustn't sing, and it was awful.
But I'm going to blame it on children. If I sang, especially the older one, if I sang her nursery rhymes, she'd beg me to stop. She'd say, you don't have perfect pitch, Mum. It's horrible.
Oh, God. I had that with both my children. I'd say, do you want Mummy or Daddy to read you the bedtime? They both go, Daddy. It's a little bit dyslexic. And
my bedtime story used to go like this. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who went to sleep. Good night.
Oh, I wish I'd known that story.
Yes, so do I. Mine was long, but I used to make them up, and it usually ended up being the same one, about this little girl that was sort of abducted by fairies and taken to fairy palace or something. And my daughter thought it was real. And it was, when I think about it, it was really, really nasty and scary.
And you wonder why she's so weird now.
I know. Exactly.
And it's funny that your kids will suddenly come out with things that you said to them when they were little, and you've got no recollection of it, which were, my God, they've remembered something like that, which wasn't true at all. You said something to them like, if you eat peas, I think I said to Kira, if you eat peas, you'll have big boobs. So she ate peas by the bucket load or something.
Oh, I've still got little boxes, and you must have truckloads of these. Caddy, the teeth, when they lose their teeth, we've got all these little boxes full of teeth.
I've got several boxes. Yes, of teeth.
You must have truckloads of them. But my husband used to have a photocopier that reduced things, and he'd write these letters from, the theatre fairy called Applausia or something. And I've got them all, and they're tiny and reduced, tiny little writing.
So we were going away on holiday. Talia was about 2, and she lost Spot, her dog, who she terrible. Anyway, as we came back from the airport 6 weeks later, we got a friend of ours to drop another dog at the airport. And they came up and said, are you Talia? The captain came up or something and said, are you Talia? Spot's been waiting for you. And that was it. But Kira knew. So Kira was 3 years older, right? Kira, Talia never knew. No one ever told her. Kira told her 3 years ago. Talia has been inconsolable ever since. Not the fact she was 27 when she found out. But she really did think that Spot was there at the airport waiting for her. And it was never. Why did Kira tell her? It was mean.
I know, it's like saying there's no Father Christmas, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean? What? What?
She didn't know. She didn't know.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, of course there is. Of course there is.
My cruel brother told me when I was about 3 there was no Father Christmas. And the shock. Yes. Yes.
Did you believe him? Did you believe?
Did I believe it? Well, I got very, very upset, but I think I did the opposite with my children. I wanted them to believe as long as possible.
Yeah.
We used to do the flower and the footprints by the oh God, I can't think of words today. Fireplace and the carrot and the half-eaten carrot and the mince pies and all that.
I'm sorry, but do you mean to say that it's not real?
Sorry.
I think before we get into deeper water, we should bring in the guest, darling. Who's in today? I think, shall we talk about what we're going to talk about?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay. So we have the lovely, oh, poor Debbie. We have the lovely Debbie Forsythe telling us all about skincare in the sun.
Oh,
hello.
Hi, Debbie.
hello.
How are you, darling?
Very well, thank you.
Actually, I love the white on you and your long hair. It's grown so much. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Vitamins. We need to ask you, why are you so brown? And I know the answer to this question. So,
Yeah, boring
did.
bit. So I had a little short trip to Barbados last week. And what can I say? The sun was shining all day, but I was very careful that I can tan very quickly, but I'm very aware of the fact as I get older, my skin is much more sensitive. So I am very careful about my sun protection.
So
Yes.
tell us, as you can see, we all have our sunglasses on today.
That's right.
We
We're
all
just
are
ready for you, Debbie.
Yes,
We're ready for you.
we are ready for you. So tell us, what are the basics? What do we need to use and how and why and where?
Okay, so the very basics are, for us as more mature women, we need to have a minimum of an SPF 40 on our faces, and at least a 30 on the rest of our bodies, because as we get older, our skin gets thinner, and that makes us more susceptible to those ugly brown age spots that you can get as you get older. And if you don't get those, more increasingly we become very sensitive to coming out in skin rashes, that heat rash that you get, those tiny little bumps that make you really uncomfortable in the sun. So in order to prevent that happening and keep our skin young, plump and youthful, we really need to be very cautious and mindful about using those SPF creams.
And it's so important, because I know that for lots of black and mixed race women, we were always told we don't need to use it, it's all fine, but actually we do. And I think we're acceptable.
Yes, I mean, I love watching the local girls putting on their cream. Their skin, for a start, is so juicy and luscious, and you just want to go up and snog them and say, I want what you have. What are you doing? I did have lots of conversations with them saying, what do you do for your skincare? We talked for hours. Wonderful.
Because I go to Antigua every spring to see relatives, you have this long British winter, and then you have the shock of getting into the Caribbean.
Yes.
That's the mistake a lot of people make, because your skin's just not used to it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We have to ease
But
into
also-
it, don't we?
Yes, also I think with black and mixed race people, they always, from a very early age, you always moisturize your skin, don't you? You're brought up with it, aren't you, Caddy?
Yes, and I think that's an advantage, because our skin is much drier, so we're used to having always to moisturize, so we just carry on.
Yeah.
And that probably helps.
I think we should teach that to our children and do that with our children as well, because it gets them into the habit of being constantly massaged and understand that's part of their daily routine.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no way I can have a bath or shower without oiling my skin afterwards, because I'd be so uncomfortable. And so it's just a habit now.
Wow.
Do you have a favorite product?
I just use baby oil on my skin.
Perfect.
Great idea.
On my body, but then I use a Vino cream on my face and neck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely.
Wonderful.
I haven't got time to cream, so I just whack the oil on wet skin, and it's perfect. It's quick and easy.
Oh, so you wet the oil on wet skin?
Yes, I get wet, then put the oil all over. My towels aren't very happy. I have to wash them. So my skin is happy.
That sounds fabulous, actually. What a great idea. I'm going to buy some today or later.
What, buy some baby oil?
Baby oil, any oil. Yes. I'm allergic to everything except baby oil, so.
I always wondered, I read somewhere once years ago that if you've been badly burnt as a child, that you've got to take extra care of your skin as you get older. And I really was very, very frazzled when I was younger. I was brought up in Malaysia, and I don't recall anybody putting anything to protect my skin on at all. I remember sitting and peeling my skin off. So now I'm very, very scared of the sun. I love having a little bit of a sun-washed look about me, but I'm nervous of it, and I do put all the factors. But is there any way to safely tan for very, very, very fair skin?
Well, I think yes, you can tan, providing you take it very cautiously. And for somebody like yourself who's had that trauma to your skin, really shouldn't have anything less than a factor of 50 on, because you need that complete protection to avoid that sun damage really getting down to that basal skin tissue layer, because it will have been traumatized. You're absolutely right. And so if you suddenly exposed yourself, or I'm sure you find as you were getting older and you had days that you forgot to put something on, you certainly felt it the next day. It's going to be very red and very tight. So yes, I think we've got to learn that SPF, when the sun is out, is very much our best friend.
Yeah. I know. Well, I was really lucky, Debbie, because I didn't think so at the time. But as a small child and all the way up into my 20s, I had terrible prickly heat. So I couldn't go in the sun. And that has saved my skin completely. My skin, I never had a sunburn, ever.
Very good point.
Well,
it was awful.
Unlike Dee and I, who both compared notes yesterday of the disgusting stuff we did as children, and I have to put my hand up. Yeah, I've always tanned very easily. And so the minute the sun came out, I used to lie guilty on a sunbed or a mat with oil on. And if I didn't think I was close enough, I took myself to the roof of a hotel with girlfriends, and we completely baked ourselves. But I didn't burn, which was unusual. But I think that when you're younger, your skin is much stronger. You're not challenged by lowering estrogen levels, which protect your skin from the sun anyway. And thankfully, nothing has happened. But I also sunbathed with a girlfriend who could sit out with me all day and still stay lily white. So it's very much what's in your skin and genes as well.
Yeah, but I was so upset. It was horrible for me because all my friends, they were always out. And if I went out, I literally would go whoosh, you know, and it was, I mean, I'd be sitting there itching. So the only place that was ever right for me was inside in a cool room. And then I used to come out at night. And so and do you know what fixed me? And this is even weirder. What actually fixed me was I was doing a television series and I was about 28, and they said have a course of sunbeds. And I had a course of sunbeds, and that stopped the prickly heat.
Wow.
And then now, I mean, I don't get it anymore, but I still don't tan. I still don't ever put my face in the sun. But how about that? That's I've never had it since.
Can I then ask you, sunbeds, how bad are they for you?
Well, sunbeds really aren't the very best. I know they give us a good feeling that we've been away and we get that dopamine hit. But really, what we've got to be aware of is the fact that statistically, we know that using sunbeds on a regular basis increases our chance of having the two types of skin cancers, squamous cell and basal cell carcinomas. And they increase the odds of actually getting that, one by 58%, one by 24%. So really, it's something that if you do occasionally, maximum even 10 minutes, but other than that, we're really not serving ourselves well for future skin health.
Well, I only ever had those 6, and that was it. I've never had any more since, fine. But I don't get the prickly heat. I mean, occasionally I might get a bit, but it's very interesting what happened. Either it was that or a psychological thing. I don't know what it was, but having had prickly heat all of my life. And now I think I could have just taken antihistamines, couldn't I? And that would have helped, but nobody knew. I used to try everything. I remember somebody once told me to put bicarbonate of soda on, and I sat on the beach like a pillock covered in bicarbonate of soda. It was horrible. horrible.
my-
I used to
My
put
word.
cooking oil. I used to have at the convent. Can you imagine? All the convent girls, we'd hitch up our skirts until they're up to our knickers. And I used to put cooking oil on my legs. I mean, isn't that crazy? But it did the job. It did the job.
Yeah, I think you win in the crazy.
Who wins?
Crazy.
What the cooking oil or the bicarb of soda? I mean, the pair of us, we should have been together. We could have made a cake or something.
I part it with the cooking oil. That's gonna be, well, you could turn into a baked Debbie and a baked tea. Perfectly cooked.
Oh my goodness.
And it's also, Debbie, it's also very important, isn't it? It's not just the summer. You have to wear this sunblock most of the year round, don't you, really?
Well, yes, because no matter whether we've got beautiful blue skies like we have today or whether it's really cloudy and overcast, we're still getting the UVA rays in, which will damage the connective tissue of our skin. So again, I always use an SPF, at least on my face, even throughout the winter. The one I love, nothing to do with me, but I love the Garnier over makeup spray.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. So I tend to carry on with me wherever I go. And when I remember, I just do a little squirt, just like that. Freshens your face. It actually sets your makeup as well, so it lasts longer if you're getting really warm. And I think that's just a perfect one to have.
And I think it's brilliant because a lot of the time, you never know. Do I put SPF on first? Do I put, by the time you've put everything on, your face is so full of rubbish.
Yeah.
You go like that.
Yeah. And it takes too long anyway. I mean, you really want something that you can get on, put on some makeup or even just some bronzer to get some color in your face and then just spray and go.
Yeah.
What is this? What's the spray? Show us.
Okay, this is Amber Solaire by Garnier. And it's an over makeup super UVA. It's factor 50. And it's amazing.
But doesn't
really
it
amazing.
make all shiny and oily looking?
No, I've just spread it on. I don't look shiny. It just sets, almost mattifies on your skin.
Wonderful.
So I love this.
That sounds fantastic. So you can get that in Boots or anywhere, really, can't you?
Absolutely, yes. And it's not expensive. It's around about £7.
Yeah, and you can keep it in your handbag. You've always got it on you, and you can use it on your décolletage as well. Anything if you feel.
Especially on this bit of the chest, because this is very thin skin. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm not so big busted, but if you're very big busted, you get your vertical lines on your chest. With sun, that just makes it look really dehydrated and pretty disgusting. So I find if I've got a low top, I'll just spread all the way down because also the skin in your neck is very thin. And I am absolute mischief for avoiding doing creams or potions on my skin. I've got older, I've noticed that I really have to be very mindful to take everything right down to this color level. Otherwise, I did a video yesterday and I saw this huge wrinkles of a necklace. I thought, oh my God, you've missed it again. Ugly.
Wow.
Elephantish. Not going to do that again.
No, but it's hard, isn't it? I mean, we have to tell our children to do this. I say to my daughter, look at you with your own children. You're always putting sunblock on the kids, but you don't do it on yourself. You've got to, because my kids love getting brown. Even now they still do. So a mother has to go, don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, isn't it funny because I don't know about you, but I always wanted to have darker skin, and I always felt healthier when my skin was suntanned. Did you feel the same?
Yeah.
Yes.
Much better. More attractive. And
even the fat bits look better when they're brown.
Do you think
these saggy bits look better if they're brown? They don't look
I was going to say
old and saggy.
Oh my God, I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, I've got to do something about these saggy bits. But what I was going to say is, darling, what about fake tan lotion? That's not bad for you, is it?
Well, I think if you overdo it on any length of time, yes, it's not going to be the healthiest for your skin. But I also weigh against the fact that I love putting on a fake tan. I love how it makes me feel. Your clothes look better, your eyes pop out a nicer color, your teeth look brighter. So I think it's weighing up what works for you to also make you feel better and look better. And
can you recommend one that is
non-toxic?
Yeah.
I personally like using the Avon brand. Now, I've really come to it recently. I was given a fake tan by Avon by a girlfriend, and I thought, Avon, you're kidding me. But honestly, I sprayed it on and I thought, that's actually really nice. It's quite dark. The other one I actually love is Dove. So
Yeah.
I always have that in the bathroom. I use the medium to dark color, but the fair to light one is also very nice. It just gives you a glow. It doesn't tend to streak. It doesn't smell.
No, it doesn't streak.
No,
Because most of them smell like Weetabix, don't they? They smell
disgusting.
Yes, horrible.
Yeah. With sour milk, really horrible.
But
so
you're right.
Dove, can you use that on your face?
Yes, and they
Yes.
also have a facial one, which you can put on, which doesn't make you as dark as your body, but that's nice because you don't really want to have,
But
I'm
the
not
thing
going
is,
mixture. I don't want
Natalie,
different colours everywhere.
which Debbie will tell you, when you've had treatments on your face, you shouldn't use fake tan on it either, should you?
Oh,
When you've had, no, you shouldn't, because it has the same effect as if you're in the sun, because so you'll end up with brown spots, so you can't use fake tan on your face either.
No. So then what I don't know if any of you have treatments, but what I tend to do if I've had something, I will use like a bronzing brush and just dust it lightly over my face to get some colour. Their
That's good.
minerals are very nice for that. They have a very lightweight powder that you can get different shades in. So I tend to use that for a bit of colour on my face because I'm very pale facially without fixing, tweaking, and generally adding up things to my face at any time.
Yeah, it's such a shame that they're all online now. I hate buying things online. If I haven't seen it and tried it, what a pity. What a pity.
I
It's just
agree.
a great product.
Yeah,
But can
my
I
very
just say-
favourite tanner is actually a Guerlain, and they have it in 3 shades. It was a cream that you put on your face. I tried to buy it recently. I think they may have taken it off the market, or if they have, maybe it's online. But it just gives your face moisture and a beautiful, healthy glow without needing to put anything else on. So I'm going to have a little look after we've had a conversation to see if I can still find it. Beautiful stuff.
But I have to say, Nat, you can get Dove, you can buy in supermarkets.
Yes,
And it's dead cheap and it's so good.
it is. And
Yeah,
it
it's
also smells
reliable.
nice and you feel very soft and
You
so
do.
luxurious after you've used
So
it.
is this one that you put on and then it gradually gets a bit darker, or is it one
No, it
that's
goes straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, but then it comes off in the bath, right?
It does not
Yes,
all
it'll
of it.
wash off in time. Yeah.
It washes up, in time, but it doesn't not straight away. But
That's
it's so good.
You could do it and then you come out orange and then you're stuck with that for several weeks.
I
I
have
know.
to say, I would agree with you. Some of the brands that you use, you come out and it's like, oh dear, did you look in the mirror before you left the house? But not with the Dove one. With the Dove one, I would always go a shade lighter than I would think I want to be, in which case you just get this like golden glow, so you look fresh and like you've just come back from the south of France, which is
it's nice. But anyways, darling, that is so inspiring and enlightening, because I think we've got to protect our skin.
we
And
do.
also, we can't sort of just be white all the time either. I think it is we have to sort of do it in moderate, everything in moderation, I think.
Yes, and I love the fact that you're wearing a hat this morning, because that brings me to one other thing. We have to be very careful of our heads as you get a little bit older, because our hair gets a little bit thinner, and so if we don't protect the hair on our head, we can have a burnt scalp, which is very detrimental and will reduce the follicular ability to regrow. So ladies, get yourselves a gorgeous hat, add it as an accessory to your outfit. Dark sunglasses, the other thing, is very important to protect the skin around your eyes. So Dee, perfectly dressed for the morning.
Thank you, darling. Just for you.
Well, thank you very much, darling Debbie. I'm going to come and see you very soon. I shall text you after this.
Oh yes.
Do that.
We need a Debbie tweak, a tweaklet.
Yes,
There
absolutely.
we go. Sunglasses
now
on,
off.
factor 50 on the go.
Yep.
And
I'm
we're
off
ready.
now to Boots to buy baby oil. Thank you, Keddy. And
And
Dove.
the Garnier spray.
Yes, I want
And the Garnier spray.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, thank you, darling Debbie. We'll see you very soon with some more
Yes.
wonderful tips.
It's so hot this afternoon. Look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you, darling. We do
Thank
too.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Hello.
Well, that's interesting.
That was very interesting. And I think also, I mean, I know that we kind of knew that, but it's good to be reminded, isn't it? And
Well,
to
I
get those tips, like
Yeah.
that was brilliant about the baby oil. And I think that's a really great idea, because all of us need that moisturizing. And, And also it's not expensive and you can pile it on, can't you?
And it's quick and it's lazy. You
Yeah,
literally rub it on. There's no fiddling around. Easy.
yeah.
It's so nice to have tips about various products, because I don't know about you, but the amount of unused products that you have in your drawer, oh my gosh. And every now and then you think it must be past its moment, got to get rid of it all, and all this stuff that's half used or a little bit used and you didn't like it. It's just nice to have tips.
It is. Really
but also, now this is going to sound a bit weird, but I went to a car boot sale 6 or 7 months ago, and all of these, they've had loads of half-used stuff like this, and so many people bought them like for 50p or £1. It's really interesting. So honestly, so a lot of people just want to try different products and things and pick them up for less than nothing, especially when you spent quite a lot of money on them.
Yeah.
So there you are, Nat. I'm giving you a bit of a treat now. So if you want to get rid of them, you can take to a car boot and somebody will buy them.
Really?
I'll tell you what, we should all do a car boot together.
The Wonderbirds car boot sale.
Yes. Would you like to do that, Caddy?
You wouldn't want my products graveyard. I mean, it's
No, not just products, about anything. You know, like we were saying the other day about having a sort of a house detox.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. Pile everything in the car that you want to get rid of. We should all meet up and do a car boot together.
We've got
Yes.
lots of toys and games and children's clothes and loads of stuff. Yeah.
We
That's
need a
it.
removal truck each.
We do.
Well, Julie Peacegood used to do the Actress's Attic. Do you remember that, Natalie? Did you ever come?
No, I think I heard about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
And it was all of us. And I always ended up buying Amanda Burton's shoes, because Amanda Burton had all these lovely shoes, very high heels that she didn't wear. She probably only wore them once. And they were always at her store. And of course, they fitted me perfectly. So I just wish I fitted into her career shoes. That would have been nice. But I did fit into her real life shoes always. And it was really fascinating. It was a great thing to do.
Kensington, wasn't it?
No, it was somewhere over our end of London, somewhere like Putney or somewhere. Richmond.
So how did that work, Debbie? I mean, did Julie just collect them from different actors, or?
No. Julie, everyone bought a stall and bought their own stuff.
Oh,
so it was
wonderful.
It was just called the Actress's Attic, and it was brilliant. There were some amazing things there and some amazing actresses there. But all I just remember were Amanda Burton shoes, which I've still got in my wardrobe, in fact. But they were really, really beautiful. She'd obviously had them for these, big events, and only wore them once, and they fitted me, so I was a lucky girl.
Oh, how fabulous. Well, we could do one and then give some money to charity, couldn't we?
The charity's
charity.
DebbieArnoldCharity.com.
Yes.
Sorry, did I say that out
loud? How about we do that, girls? I think that's a really great idea.
Well, it's another thing for us to think about, another thing to add to the list of things that the Wonderbirds need to do.
That is certainly a must do.
Actually, Dee, can you just give us a flash with what you're wearing? Can you stand up a bit?
Do you remember when we went?
I remember this. That's why I wanted to see it.
Yes.
Is it a top or is it a dress, Dee?
It's a top. But isn't it gorgeous? Do you remember we stopped at that little village?
When we went to see Janet, didn't we? We went to where did we go? With Tony and Janet?
It was near Clitheroe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very pretty. The silk.
It's silk. It is. It's just so gorgeous. And I bought a lovely, like a jacket with a big hood and silver at the back. I was looking the other day, getting all the summer stuff out. No, it's really, really exciting.
It is. Anyway, girls, we will see you next time. Thank you for a wonderful show, and go and get some sunscreen quickly.
Now.
Will do. Okay. Bye.
You need some sunglasses, Caddy.
I do.